the ad. Yay! Are we live? Are we big? Are we bad? Are we back? How is everybody? Let me move this microphone. Hello! Dum-de-dum-dum-da! How are you all? Yes, I'm playing my my Stellar Harmony, but it's not. It's the Scott Baxendale one. So, how is everybody? We have George. We have URL Tom, Magnus, Jason, Adam, Clint, Alexi, Korai, Devon, CBDS. How are you all? George, Matthew, Ron, Devin, Spectrum 424. Giancarlo, more George Cassidy. Neil, how are you? Kevin. Oh yes, we're going to have a shirt conversation. That was funny. We did, so basically I teach a masterclass here. Hello everybody. Lisa, Steven, Stephanie, Shania, Alex, Bengt, Blue Wave Dave, DB, Martin, or Martine, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Kaiser, Nicola, Jason, Mark, Panacea Studios. Anyway, so yeah, we did the Shelley Ackers thing. It was a lot of fun here because we did a 3-day masterclass here, which, as you know, we only offer to Academy members. We don't publicize it or, run ads or anything on it. And they're really fun to do. I'm probably going to do another one. I don't know if I'll do one in March, but I'll do one in April. So I'll do another one in April. So for any Academy members that want to come out for that, we're only doing 4 people. We just do 4 people here, and everybody brings one of their own songs that they're working on. And you bring out a song, and we load it up, and we mix it, and we talk about, whether it's an editing situation, whether it's some, additional production, whatever it might be. All of those wonderful things, and we just take it up. Yes, Alex came out and did amazing. We were listening to the first round, because we did one in January, one in February. So just at the end of February, we reviewed the January mixes, because everybody went back and they took the mixes that we had done here and then tweaked it. Hello, Michael, in the mix. And it's the same E as in the, Martin, the, I don't want to mess that up, Martin. So we went and reviewed them, and honestly, all the mixes were like so much better. I mean, I think it's one of those experiences. It's like a game changer, because you get to be in a room and only think and talk about for 3 days how to mix and how you would do it. And you're not just watching me do it. You're in there and we're interacting. It was a lot of fun. So one of the things that happened is we like to bring down a guest speaker just to kind of like break it up and also talk about stuff. So we had Shelley Ackers. So it was basically me sitting here, Shelley there, and then the 4 guys. And they got to ask Shelley questions and talk about, John Lennon. And he was here for 4 hours, and we listened to John Lennon songs, and he talked about the recording of John Lennon. We listened to Tom Petty songs. He talked about the recording of Tom Petty. You name it. It was pretty insane. Raspberries. What else? It was a whole bunch of amazing stuff. Anyway, that video, is it going up today? Yeah. That video is actually going up in the Academy today. So those of you who are Academy members, hello, Matty. Yeah, Matty was there. So hello, you all will get to see 4 hours. It's like 3 hours. It's edited down, but yeah, 3 hours. Thank you, Matty. He said it was insane how much he learned. So yeah, a lot of fun. Devin says he was jealous. Scott, pop. Okay. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. Finally made it through. Although problem have to go soon. Well, sorry, Mervyn. Yeah, it's going to be really good. Hello, Chris. Hello, Ryan. I'll take a lobster in Maine. I love lobster. Hello, Country Tea. Andy, it's great to see you. Home today taking care of a sick family. House full of pukers. Well, I've been there. I have been there. Oh, your message was retracted? It's okay. I already read it out, so. Happy to be here. Happy to have you here. Picking the master's brain. Yes, it was. It was exactly. So I think the next one we'll do, I mean, it really depends on who's in town. Hello there in Iran, Fanaz. Hello in Norway. Hello in Texas. Chris says he's been working on the mix contest, probably for 10 hours. So, a couple of things. And while Michael from In the Mix is with us, don't forget to go and check out his channel, particularly on Saturday. He'll be putting up his part of the mix, well, the production, and he's adding some electronic elements, which I think is going to be really exciting. David and I are also filming for Monday, and on Monday you're going to see our end. You're going to hear Michael's production added. We're also going to do some more vocal takes and do a really good vocal comp. Plus, after comping the vocal, we'll also add some guitar stuff. So you're going to get to, Michael is Michael from In the Mix, and he's the guy, Kevin, that we're doing this with. He's also a great producer and a great songwriter. So we're doing it between the three of us. It's a lot of fun. And for those of you who don't know, you can take all of your mixes. Oh, you just posted the interview. Yes. And he said, just posted an interview with Warren, lots of drums, synths, and bass lines to download on Saturday. Yes. So we'll also be sending out Monday, we're going to send out an email with all of these videos linked into it. So make sure you're opening up you're going to see Michael's videos, our videos. There's going to be a link to everything, a link obviously to Rate My Mix's website where it will be like the summary email, if you like. So you can check out Michael's process, our process. It will remind you of where you can upload the mixes. We're building the Rate My Mix site, and I highly recommend that you go and sign up there specifically for the feedback of it. The fact that everybody's going to be able to sit there and share and listen to music. It's something we're really, really excited about. And I think ultimately we will offer like a low paid amount where you can get professionals to critique your mixes. And that will be for people that obviously, are outside of the academy and maybe just want to get one song. Because I get probably 40 songs a day of people asking me to critique it. And I love everybody here, but it is so difficult to keep up with that because most of the time I'm mixing, I'm producing, I'm doing all this kind of stuff, Devin, Michael is an electronic production guy, but he's definitely more than that. He's a great guitar player. He wouldn't admit that, but he's a great guitar player, but he's very musical. It's a great collaboration. It really is. And, the fact that we're in all over the world, Michael's obviously near Inverness, he's in the Highlands of Scotland. We're in the Highlands. We're in the hills of Los Angeles. It's all rather wonderful. I'm going to send Eric in to get me a cup of tea. Eric, will you get me a cup of PG? All right, everybody. Oh, yes, I love the Waves PRS. Oh, thank you ever so much, Lee. That's all rather wonderful. My wife is calling me. Yes, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Go to Rate My Mix, Daniel. You can upload your mix up there. It's early days. It's just launched. It's fantastic. All right. Now, what we did is we have a lot of other David stuff. It's like it's David week at the moment. It's all about David. David month. Workday release. So what we have is last night we went to go and see Ed Cherney yesterday, which was a lot of fun. And Ed is going to be a great, great interview. And Ed's just a great guy. And very enlightening. It was a good couple of hours. It's going to be a super, super fun. We also did a couple of short videos for Academy. Talk. You're going to love it. Some stuff specific for the Academy, which is really wonderful. We're also going to do some, mix breakdown stuff with Ed. It's really, really great. So make sure you hang out for all of that stuff. It's going to be fantastic. But I was with David because, as you know, David is like really a big part of our team. He's not just an artist that we produce and write with and all that stuff. He also films with us now. So he's in the videos, but he's also behind the camera quite often, and he's editing. So, you know, it is all about community and family here, and it's a big, big deal. But as you know, I've been mixing his songs live, streaming, and there's a couple we haven't finished up. Now, this one, Cursed and Cursing, we can have a listen to it. We did do, and we did it as a mix, a streaming mix, but we only got as far as drums and probably bass. So let's have a listen and see where we're at. Hope you're all doing marvelously well. Thank you ever so much for that donation, and feel free, anybody, to donate and buy us lunch. It's always rather wonderful. And if you do have questions and you want to get noticed, of course, I'd be honest, you know, giving us $5 would really help. Listen to me. All right, so we're going to have a listen. Here we go. Hello, Tim in the Netherlands. I was just literally on a call just before here with two guys in the Netherlands. And yesterday I was talking to people in the Netherlands as well. There's a lot of very smart people there and a lot of people that love music. All right, let's have a listen to Cursed and Cursing.
We'll never move on if we stay. Curse up the mirror, curse up the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to begin. Yeah, we'll never move on if we stay. Curse up the mirror, curse up the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to get up and start moving.
All right, so we wanted to listen to it down from the top and go right through the whole song. Now, we have worked on this song on a live stream before, and we did it, and we only got as far as drums and bass. Can you tell? Like, all the guitars are like either buried or too loud, and the vocal is completely buried and dark. Yeah, we only got as far before as drums and bass. But I like the bass. It's aggressive. You can have a listen. It's like, I like it a lot. And I'm not just saying that because I played it. I just mean I like the tone. I mean, it's bratty, it's buzzing. Probably should clean it up here. So probably let's just clean up like elements like that. I mean, you can use fancy plugins to denoise, or you can quite frankly just remove it. Sometimes, we talk about this all the time. Automation and editing is your friend, and you don't have to spend hours trying to find the right plugin to solve a problem when you can literally just do what I just did. So anyway, so I love the bass and I love the drums, and we did do a drum mix of it. As you can see, we created two areas on the drums where we have a drum sub with no compression or EQ on it, and then we crushed it with a Fairchild emulation, and it's the one that comes with Pro Tools, so it comes with the DAW. Let's have a listen. What did we do? So what we did that's probably sounding good to you guys when you're talking about the snap on the snare is a couple of things. If you listen to the snare sub here, and remember this, we did this, I remember now, almost entirely stock plugins. It's not stock plugins. There are a couple of extra things, but look, all of the drums here is EQ, the comes free with Pro Tools one. So this is just to prove that you can literally create a drum sound, using what comes free with your DAW. The kick bus here is EQ. There's the bomb factory, which comes free with Pro Tools. Another EQ. The reverb on the drums is being controlled by you see here, I've got like an Abbey Road EQ going into a D-verb. The only thing here, the snare verb, is reverb 1. No, that also comes free with Pro Tools. So yeah, it's like, that's, you know what I mean? So everything on the drums is stock plugins. The only thing we've done is add a R comp, and that's probably adding a little bit of spank on the reverb. If I take that off, put it back on. So what it's doing there is it's allowing a little bit of the transient to go through, pap, 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 before compressing. So it's exaggerating the verb. Instead of going, it's going, psh, 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 psh. So it's like, do you understand what I mean? It's like adding a little snap into the reverb. So it's going snap, it's going tap, tap, tap. So the reverb that is exploding from the snare is like pap, 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 rather than boosh, boosh, like a big snare. That's the only thing that we really kind of did. And we did that same thing with the R comp here on the toms, so that the reverb is more bap, 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 rather than doom, 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 doom. Yep. So basically, very, very simple drum mix, incredibly simple. And then we use entirely stock plugins on the bass. And as you can see, that's a performance. The only fix we did was here. And it's messy. I mean, it's a messy performance. I know. I played it. You know, it's not even perfectly in time or anything. However, that messy performance gives it energy. You know, it gives it a lot of energy. So transient can get buried by everything else. Why does the spank on the snare get lost in the mix? Well, that's what we're talking about, is like I'm exaggerating the snap like that by using it on the reverb. And I will really I'll make the snare more aggressive than it needs to be, knowing that the energy of the guitars will eat that up. So sometimes people, you solo the drum kit and people are like, oh, that sounds too aggressive and rock. And then you put it in with all the heavy guitars and they're like, oh no, you know, that's what happens. Okay. So let's go to the acoustic. Now, we did the acoustic for this in a Lewitt demo. All of these were done with Lewitt. So you can see here it says new Lewitt. So, you know, might as well write down the name of the mic. I am using the Lolas, yeah. And it's really, really important. We're also using SonarWorks. A lot of people ask that, but you're not hearing the SonarWorks back with you, so it's not going to affect how you hear it. But SonarWorks has been a big, big deal for us with headphones. Now, a couple of things. When I EQ'd an addictive drum sample for just for the aggression, the click, 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 click. So if I do this and have a listen, I did it because it actually helped the low end. This is something that lots of people, you know, we've been talking about a bit. You know, so right. The issue with the snare spank getting lost is a prime reason not to mix in solo all the time. Well, thank you for the lesson. No, the reality is we are going in solo a lot because we have to show people and educate them. And it's not getting lost. It's not getting lost. I overdid it so it feels great in the stuff. I think that's the misconception. I think it's just it's a war of words, isn't it? To be right, the person that's to be right, it's getting lost. It's not getting lost. It's mixed deliberately, aggressively, so that so that you can hear it with the guitars. If you listen to the snare. It's like aggressive, but listen to David's voice. David has this, this is what mixing's about. It's about understanding the balance between things and also having the wherewithal for knowing, what serves the song. If you listen to David's voice, for instance.
We'll never move on if we stay and curse at the mirror, curse at the wind.
He's like, never move on it, curse at the mirror. He's not going, never do wanna. It's not rock. It's not metal. So the point is like that extra aggression is there. Okay, if it was in solo, you'd be like, the imbalance is out there so that it gets soaked up by the guitars. And that's really the thing. So I also have to tell you that it's really, really important. There's a couple of there's about 3 massive pieces of misinformation, which is perpetuated by people to sort of be superior. And one of those is like, I never mix in solo. I hear it all the time. I never mix in solo. People shouldn't mix in solo. You know what? I've sat in a room with Michael Brower. I've sat in a room with Andy Wallace. I've sat in a room with all these guys, and they all solo things. It's what people do. You solo it because you hear the mix, and you hear a problem, and then you solo it to fix it. The point is like what we just did is we started by listening to the whole mix, And now we're going to go in and fix problems. The reason why you solo it is because you listen. I have worked with 100 different mixers, and every single one of them works the same way. You listen, and then you solo to find out where the problem is. You're like, there's a weird frequency. What is it? You solo, and you go, okay, I've got to pull that out. I need this to be more aggressive. You solo it and stuff like that. Another one, the top-down mixing. Nobody professional mixes top-down. You don't mix top-down. You add it. You add it in the top. So these are the sort of things that we have to be very wary of. This sort of, because when you sort of have these elitist opinions like you should mix in solo, when you say that stuff, it's not true. It's like, yes, you shouldn't just only listen in solo. How are you going to listen to a song on the radio if it's just a soloed kick? You know what I mean? It's really, really, you like my expert voice, Michael? Thank you. No, it's the superior, I know best voice. Yeah, but yes, you listen to the whole track and then you solo and fix things. Everybody does that. Another thing, check in mono for phase issues. It's great, check in mono. But this whole idea that people mix in mono, no, they don't. They mix how they want to hear it. Andrew Sheps talked about that. Everybody, they talk about, you like the voice, thank you, Devin. Talks about like mixing in, you have to mix how you want the track to sound. You check for phase in mono, of course you do. But this whole idea about everybody mixes in mono. No, they don't. They don't mix in mono. Nobody mixes in mono. People check in mono. I only mix what CLA tells me to. Well, there you go. So you can check in mono. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a really, really good tool. But you'll probably spend literally about 4 minutes. I should do cartoon voices. Thank you. You'll literally spend 4 minutes of your life mixing. No, that's a difference, Ron, between applying gentle compression and EQ to your master bus than to go than to like load up 14 plugins on your master bus, multiband compression, all of that stuff, ozone. Nothing wrong with any of these plugins, but exactly, yeah. What disappears in mono, that's what you check. Exactly. When something disappears in mono because you've got phase issue, then you go in and figure out what the issues are. You're like, oh, the guitar just disappeared in mono because maybe you're using the Howells effect and it's slightly delayed and it's making it feel a little wrong. Okay, so yeah, I just want to catch these things because when I get so many emails from people that get confused because they hear this. Nobody mixes in solo. They hear that all the time. And then the other one is like, never boost, only cut. This is all crap. Absolute baloney. I was sat in a room with Ed Cherney yesterday and looking at his EQs. He's boosting all over the place. Reed Shippen came down to Nashville, to Blackbird, and talked to us about it. And that's nice, Paul. Nobody's upset me. We're talking about the myths that are perpetuated, and a lot of the myths is like always mix in mono, never solo, and the other one, of course, is never boost. How do you check phase in mono? Well, literally, when you go to mono, if things disappear, you're going to probably have very, very slight, doubling of tracks, and they're ever so slightly out. So they're cancelling out when they're on top of each other because the low end is disappearing. There's loads of different issues it could cause, but yeah, just be careful. Just also be careful. But there's so much misinformation, and it's perpetuated by people that just want to sound like they're really superior. Thank you ever so much, superior, like they know best. Here we go. So let's listen to the drums, and let's dump in the bass and see where we're at. Cool. So the main thing that's driving this song, and I think is really, really, thank you, Jeremy. That's very nice of you. Well, that's interesting, Ollie, because one of my best friends is Matt Butcher, and Matt Butcher is front of house for the Gorillaz. And the thing about, and many other bands, but the Gorillaz in particular, they have about 25 people on stage. They have DJs, they have live drums, they have bass, they have acoustic guitars, they have pianos, they have electric guitars, they have like 4 to 6 background singers, they have rappers coming up. It's insane. And he boosts and cuts and mixes just like the rest of us. Yeah. And have you ever seen the Gorillaz live? It's the best live show you're ever going to hear in your life. And it looks fantastic. It is amazing. Everything about it is incredible and it sounds amazing. And he just mixes, it just mixes the way that people mix. And he's been doing it since the 80s. And he's mixed TV, he's mixed everything, and he's phenomenal. So again, I'm not sure what planet the people that know best live on, but they don't live in the place where they're the top of the game. I think that's the important thing. Is like, listen to people that work you respect. If you really love, you love Bob Marlette, he's a great mixer. Check out what he talks about, how he works, that's the thing. All right, so I'm going to throw in the acoustic because this is going to drive the song. Hello there in London. Now, I'm going to go to this section here where it starts cranking up. So what I'm going to do is that is that first chorus. I'm actually going to take this guitar down, believe it or not, and put it on a different take. So I'm actually going to put this down below. Why am I doing that? Well, the thing is excuse me, I gained this guitar up quite considerably with no, compression, no EQ or anything. It's just turned up. And this here, this section, is the chorus guitars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, remove the volume automation that it took because we don't need it to be that loud. And so I'm separating out the acoustics and the electrics into different, the acoustic verses and the acoustic choruses into different sections. What are we mixing, Ted? We are mixing a song called Cursed and Cursing. It's another one of David's. He's rather heavily featured, to say the least. So what we've been doing is we've been live streaming and mixing his album, which is rather wonderful. Now, so I'm going to listen back to this acoustic here. Oh, one thing we were going to do before we got caught in the debate about like you should never solo was this. I was showing off this kick here and explaining that what I had done is like I'd used it just to get the aggression in the high end. I'm sorry we're soloing, but we have to show it off. Now, that was done deliberately because I wanted the low end to like really, really shine. And the best way to get the low end to shine was to remove some of the low end out of certain mics. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute it, that kick, all the way through the first instrumental chorus. So that's going to like take away some of the aggressiveness of the kick in the beginning. Have a listen. That's a very good point. Ollie's saying like monitor mixers as well. Yeah, definitely if you're mixing monitors, you got to be really careful. They're cutting for feedback and stuff like that. Okay, so now if we drop the acoustic in now. Yeah, I'm soloing and high passing. Oh no! And then if we go to the instrumental section where the other acoustic comes in, have a listen. So that clickiness on the acoustics too quiet, but the clickiness on the kick is on that other sample. So I think it balances a lot. It balances out the track really, really super nicely. So let's do a couple of things. Let's take off that massive boost of volume on the acoustic, and I'm going to. Oh my God, I'm really sorry. I'm going to solo it. So I'm going to have a listen. I'm also going to put it in the center. I'm going to make it more intimate. Make it more like the vocal, a kick drum, and the acoustic. Because for the longest time, that is all that's playing. Like if we listen here. Thanks, Mike, for liking the squeaky pedal. I get a lot of squeaky pedal dislikes. People are like going, "Your pedal squeaks," and I'm like, then I was like, "Oh, we had the drum doctor came in and put some WD-40 in it. Ross, the drum doctor, he's like a really famous one, a guy that does all this stuff, and the squeak went away, and it was really good. And then everybody told us off and said that you shouldn't use WD-40, and I was just like, okay."
There's no escape, no hiding.
So what's great about this is like we're listening to the song, and this is more important than any EQ move you could do. We're listening to the song to decide. We're listening to the song. Tom says you want a WD-40 plugin. Yeah, Ringo's pedal squeaks, and so does. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Ted says there's 321 people watching, but only 124 likes. So please hit that like button. That would be stupendous. Okay, so where were we? Oh, okay, so we're trying to get a sense of what's going on in this song. It's an intimate vocal. It's a kick drum. I think what I'm also going to do is bring down the reverb. We're mixing. We're not just EQing and compressing things. We're mixing. We're making choices. We're making decisions. So let's bring down the kick verb quite considerably and have a listen. I'm also going to take down the room mic. Now, the room mic, just for those of you that want to know, is actually just a Lewitt microphone that was being used for vocals that we also recorded. So I'm going to bring that down and let's have a listen. There we go. Now we have the intimacy. We have less of the room and less of the kick.
There's no escape, no hiding or break. There's no easy fix.
I almost want it to be even more thuddy. Let's have a listen to this. So there's the live kick. The Lewitt, that was a 940. So I think what I'm going to do is I love this kick. Really, really like that. Let's have a listen again in its entirety. So what I want to do is I'm going to do some automated EQ here. So let's go and I'm just going to make a cut here just for my own sanity. And I'm going to get an EQ, and we'll stick with stock here. We'll stick with some stock EQs, and I'll grab where is it? Avid. We'll go for the stock EQs, and we will grab a one band. And this is all we're going to do. Is we're just going to go, I don't know, let's take it to like 4 something. Let's have a listen. There you go. And I'm going to put it on those 2 samples that we're adding. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to here to the auto function and just turn the bypass on and off. So we're going to add the bypass. And we're going to go down here, get the bypass. And at the moment, it is on bypass. So let's just turn everything up. There you go. And then bring it down there. So now the EQ is going to be on the front. And then when the band comes in, the bypass will deactivate, meaning, yes, you guessed it. It should copy down the automation. Meaning, you guessed it, the kick will get brighter. So let's have a listen. Let's see if that worked. Much better. And then have a listen now when the chorus comes in. The top ends come back, the aggressions come back, there's more going on. But that's far more in keeping with the acoustic. So this is mixing. It's you know what I mean? It's not just like setting one sound from beginning to end. We're creating a mood. We want some intimacy here. So let's go into our acoustic and have a quick listen. He's going to solo it. Oh my God. Maybe he's going to use high pass as well. Oh my God. Here we go. This one, there will be a link eventually, Michael. This is actually what we're doing. We're mixing the live EPs. So there's the acoustic. So now what I'm going to do is he's playing with his fingers. I think it's him. It's not me. You know, he's playing with his fingers and just, you know, it's nice. It's dull. I actually kind of like it. I think what I'm going to do is grab. And because we can use anybody's plugins, one of the plugins that I've really come to dig recently is IK Multimedia's version of an 1176. What we like about this is it's got some grit and brightness, and it sort of, quite frankly, saves 2 plugins. Have a listen before and after. Now, if I turn down the volume so that there's no perceptible gain difference, have a listen. It just gives us a little bit of extra bite. A little tiny bit. So I'm going to hit it a little hard. I like that. Mark says, do a trailer for warning. Audio material will get high-passed and solo during session. Yeah. Well, one of the things I noticed was I saw a tutorial the other day, and a guy was, I can't remember what they were demonstrating, like a slight pitch change on a vocal or something. And they were doing this slight pitch change, and literally there was like 30 comments, and 25 of them said, I can't hear the difference. And the reality is like, you know, we're dealing with YouTube, so we have to, you know, we have to make drastic moves on YouTube because the algorithms mess with the way we hear things. Let's be really honest. But I also think that the reality is we need to go into solo to show you what we're doing. You know, this is tuition. We're helping each other out here. Okay, so I'm going to grab just an Avid EQ. We're going to go cheap and cheerful. And we are going to high pass. I can't believe it. He's going to high pass. Can you hear Okay, and I'm going quite high on my high pass. I'm going up to like 226. This is before the EQ, because a lot of that low end is like taking up, when you look at the compressor, for instance, have a look at this. See if you guys can notice this. Guys and girls, sorry. People. Look and listen. So the reason why I want you to listen, but I also actually, in this instance, for a change, want you to look. You're going to find a point where the sound doesn't change very much, but the compression does. Why is that? That's because there's an excessive low end going in there, causing the compressor to enact. Have a look and listen, and watch as I move the high passing down. So that's now high passing at 66, and we're getting about a dB. That's at 66 hertz. That's low. Now let's bypass it. Now we're getting a dB and a half. So we're getting half a dB below 66 hertz. Like, really? Do we need to hear like that much low end on an acoustic guitar? I think not. So let's keep taking it up until it starts to feel good. That's at 120. That's here at 119.5, and it's not a lot of audible difference. It just doesn't have this low end mudding around. And I put that against my drums. But you see what we demonstrated there? Like how much compression of the low end, which was affecting the way you hear the high end. The low end, which was just going rumbling around, was giving us a dB and a half of extra compression, which was squashing the highs, but the highs aren't loud enough to hit the compressor themselves. So does that make sense? So it gets clarity. One of the problems when you don't high pass into your compressor on an instrument like that is the high end starts to sound like pip, 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 pip. It starts to sound like it's all getting splatty, and your acoustic guitar starts to sound really pwing, pwing, because the compressor's annihilating the signal, but it's being triggered from, yes, you guessed it, excessive low end, which is why a lot of really, really good manufacturers are building sidechain functions into their plugins. It's why some really, really great, compressor hardware also have sidechains. Okay, so now let's just grab another EQ afterwards. There's a little bit of 6, 7. You hear that going on. Well, there's a couple of different solutions to that. One of which is quite popular, quite frankly, is to boost above that. Don't be afraid to do that. But again, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an old favorite. I'm just going to grab an REQ, a Renaissance EQ from Waves. So let's go grab that. If you can find it. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, where is me? Where is my REQ? Why have I just gone right past it? Huh? What? There it is. Okay, I'm going to grab a 4-band. Now this is post compression, by the way. So let's go like 700.
There's no escape.
Someone's got too many plugins. Yes. It's interesting. There's an articulation there which I like.
There's no escape.
Yeah, there's a lot of articulation which is nice around 2K. We have to be careful. Some things, the things that you don't like, the things that you know what I mean, that are giving you the articulation. I know somebody said, talking about 2K, if I try to pull out 2K, then I lose the actual movement of the fingers. Like, I like that boost. It's helping, but it's a little uneven. So we could do, and I'm trying to do gentle stuff here. So what we could do is we could just literally just grab a de-esser and put it after that there. See how that's tamed it? So that de-esser defaulted to 5.5K. And, you know, so what's happened, you know, the way that he's playing with this is play with fingers. So it's play with the fingers. So we're down, he's playing like, you know, very naively with the fingers, which is great. I love the naivety. I think naivety gives it, you know, some youthfulness. But, you know, he's occasionally like plucking a little too hard or whatever. Now it's taming those extra ones. If I take it off. It's subtle, but it's nice for me. And I just want it to be, it doesn't have to be like sparkly and perfect. We're not doing a 1980s jazz funk record. It doesn't have to be so absolutely perfect. It just has to feel like somebody like performing. You know what I mean? Like somebody like really, especially, you know, David, he's in his 20s. He's not like a 45-year-old guy. He's not me. You know what I mean? It's like he's youthful. He wants this to be, you know, it needs to sound like it's coming from a naive place. So I'm not going to get in there and go absolutely nuts on the EQ and make it ridiculously perfect. Hello, Andre.
There's no escape, no hiding or break. There's no easy fix, no magic erase.
So I like that. I think it could be a little louder. I also would like to like not have it completely dead center. So we'll pan it slightly 20%. Yeah, DS's, you know, just single band, multi-band compressors. I mean, they're a single band compressor, you know, so it's really kind of useful. Now, what we'll do is we're going to create just a mono auxiliary. So this mono auxiliary we're going to call, well, let's find out input, say 24. We'll call this Acoustic Verb. And let's just find something, and I'm going to EQ, well, you know what, let's find a reverb that's going to do that for us. So let's get like reverb 1, really basic. Excuse me. And we're going to roll off some of the lows here, the low mids, pull this down here, get rid of that. Some of the high highs. I see. Some of the mid gain there. And let's send from 24. This is really quick. Let's see what this sounds like. Oh, and we need to make this really small. I want this to just be like a guy sitting in a bedroom. You know what I mean? So let's go down. It's nice. Don't love it. I like that. Let's be silly. Let's be silly. Let's go in and find some kind of Siri. Siri, just answer me. I said, let's be silly and go and find some kind of Siri. Just because I said silly and it thought I meant Siri, so it just talked to me. Thank you, Siri. Okay. Let's put a crystallizer on this. So I'm going to just mess it up. There we go. Now I'm going to put this in pre-fade and we're going to have a listen. Okay, I really like that. It's just giving us a different kind of energy that I don't have to have a reverb to be exactly perfect. I'm trying to create, again, something more interesting. Have a listen. Yeah, there's somebody talking. That's me at the beginning. Have a listen. I mean, I absolutely love that. Okay, I know we're in solo, really sorry. Okay, but let's have a listen in the track.
There's no escape, no hiding or break. There's no easy fix, no magic erase. You take what you make and you face it, or you cover it up and you fake it. There's no other way.
Love it. Okay, I really like it. Siri is an expert. Yeah, I really like that. That wrongness is like this is what makes this fun. It also makes it fun where I'm like reading your comments and everybody's like, this is good. I mean, these are the kind of things that we're looking for to make our mixes interesting. Hey, Lauren. That's just for the chorus. We haven't got to the chorus guitar yet. Okay, great. So I sort of want to work on the vocal just a bit. I'm not expecting miracles at the moment, but I think I'd like to just put a high pass on it. Oh no, don't say he's going to use a high pass. Yeah, I'm going to put a bit of a high pass on it before anything. Go up to like 100. I'm also going to put a little bit of air, so I got like 8K. So you see what I did there? Just a little bit of boost. And then I'm going to use an old favorite of mine. Well, actually, you know what? Before I do it, let's just grab a de-esser and just make sure that we're not boosting too much.
There's no escape, no hiding or break. There's no escape.
Cool. So just escape, just took care of that. So now we got the REQ going to the de-esser. Now let's grab an RVox. By the way, we're going to give away a year's membership to the Academy soon. So, and if you're already an Academy member, which many of you are, you can, of course, choose a course, any of our courses. Choose the course. I see we have 304 people watching, and we have 211 likes. That is amazing. Could we get it over to 300 likes? That would be beautiful. Thank you ever so much. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an old favorite of mine. Is that me talking? That was interesting to hear myself coming back through a speaker there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an RVox. The thing about the RVox is it adds a lot A lot of like low mids and thickness to it, you know. Yeah, but if you win the year's academy and you're already a member, you can choose a course, you know, any of the other stuff we do. Oh, look. Wow, listening to myself. So please hit that like button. Okay, going to hit the old compressor now. I'm just going to give it quite a bit.
There's no escape, no hiding a break. There's no easy fix, no magic erase. You take what you make and you face it, or you cover it up and you fake it. There's no other way.
Great. Okay, so now we're in a place that I'm starting to enjoy. I actually think I made a mistake by doing mono acoustic guitar in that first chorus. I do. I think it's foolish. I'm actually going to take the second chorus one and
We'll never move on.
okay, let's have a listen. Let's have a listen to this. So what we might be able to do then is do this. Is just take the first half and put it on the second and the second half on the first. So let's just see if that works with the panning. The only reason why I'm doing this is because the performance is different, as you heard in the second chorus, and this is more open and more in keeping. And I think that that makes perfect sense. So.
Way, other way.
Yes, the Arvox is a compressor. It's a vocal compressor.
No other way. So come on, let's get up and brush off the dust. We're dirty for life.
Great, so let's listen to all those together. Yes, excuse me. Yes, Arnaldo. Sorry, Armando. Yes, it will be available later. So, thank you ever so much, Brang. Here for you are for a coffee. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I love you. How generous people are. Thank you ever so much. So I'm going to create a stereo output for all of those guitars. We'll listen to them individually in a second. Okay, so this is to win a year's membership to the Academy. We'll do two. We'll do one at the end as well. So if you stick around till 12, we'll do another one. So what I want to know, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, we've found out a lot about, you know, what DAWs you use. I'm really dig Sound Toys. I like it for the pitch change. The crystallizer just seems to always sound good when you first open it up. It's a really smart plugin. Is there any plugin like that? Is there a plugin that you just go to that you know is going to inspire you? It could be an EQ, it could be a compressor, but I'm thinking probably more like a special effect. Is there a plugin that inspires you and it helps you get creative? And please, you know, this is for a year's membership to the Academy or any course of your choosing. You can choose any course that we do. There's 256 likes. If we can get that up to over 300, that'd be stupendous. Is there any plugin that just inspires you, that you always go to? And thank you, Armando. And just that just inspires you every single time. For me, definitely the crystallizer makes me think outside of the box. When I'm stuck and I want to do something great, so just let us know. Any plugin. Oh, Little Plate, Waves ADT. And if you don't have a plugin that inspires you, you can also have that. That's a right answer. That is a right answer. Okay, so this is guitar bus. So this is our guitar bus for this chorus. Now, with these kind of things, when I'm dumping a lot of stuff together, I think very often this is where you can have some fun. And one of those kind of fun things is to get, well, obviously, I can literally just get rid of some low lows out the way of the bass. I feel like if I pull out some of that 2K in the middle of the guitar and boost a little bit lower around it, I think it will help sort of like lock in a little bit. But I don't want to get too crazy, so I'm not going to get too nuts. I'm just going to pull out a little bit of 2-ish here. And go to a fundamental low on an electric on this arpeggio part at about 200. That's thick down there. You hear that boost? I'm going to turn it on and off. Have a listen. That's kind of nice because it's filling in. Now, it might not work the whole time, but you know what I mean? Sample away, Kevin. So let's add in the acoustics. Too much. Do you hear it? The 200 is too much. It's congratulations, Andre, and we'll do another giveaway in about 20 minutes. Yeah, it's too much.
Other way.
And look, it's 2 dB at 200 here. It's just too much. I'm actually just gonna turn it off and have a listen again.
Other way.
There's a part of me that likes the fizziness of it and doesn't all at the same time. It's a little zzz. Let's take it EQ off. Yeah, exactly. The 200 is killing the bass. So that sort of high mid boost, about 5-6K, is nice. Yeah, but it's not great. It's not great. Okay, so what does that mean? We can have some fun with this. And I've done this stuff before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some silliness. Let's have a listen to the DI. What's great about that DI, I'll play a few more seconds of it, but I can already tell the DI has got more definition. Ah, thank you ever so much, Neil. I really appreciate it. So, why don't we have some fun with that DI? Why don't we get something super generic, which means coming free with Pro Tools, the Sans amp. Have a listen. Now let's listen to the amp. Back to the DI. Now together there's a phase issue. You can hear it. They're slightly out of phase. The polarity's messed up. If I put them on top of each other, it's like mind-blowing. But it's definitely adding some solidity to the tone. Let's go in there and do something which we never recommend, which is use our eyes. Now, it's polarity-wise, it's fairly close. You're never going to get it exactly. But let's have some fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put reverb on the amp. Normally I'd put it on the DI, but because the DI is more defined, I'm actually going to just stick a reverb plugin on it, and we are going to make it, I don't know, about a second long. Like that. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to EQ that reverb. So I'm taking the amp recording and using the DI as the main, and the amp I'm actually making the special effect, which is normally the opposite of what I've done in the past, but I'm not in this instance. Now I'm wiping off a lot of top end going into that reverb so it doesn't get... Can we get over 300 likes? If you haven't hit the like button, why not on a bus? Because I'm going to have some fun with it. I'm going to add a little bit more highs on the Sans amp. I like that a lot. Okay, now I'm going to copy that same effect down onto the next one. And pan them. So what's happening is the reverb affected amp is opposite the DI. Now let's have a listen. Let's have a listen with just the normal amps on from the others. Love it. So much more articulation now. And all that zzz can be taken up by the acoustic guitar. So where we were having this battle for 5K, where everybody was like in the 5K, now the electric is defined and the acoustic is going zzz over the top. And I'm actually going to put a de-esser on that on the 5K area of the acoustics and just control it. Those acoustics are a little crushed, aren't they? They definitely hit compression really heavily on the way in. Hey, Eric. All right, so in context of everything. What's interesting now, I'm applying that other EQ and it's making more sense. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Have everybody downloaded the multi-tracks yet for the competition? And don't forget to check out Michael's video on Saturday. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be super duper. Okay, I'm grabbing the 1176. I'm grabbing IK's one again because it just has that crunch. Oh, it's just a lifesaver. Obviously, there's more volume coming out. But... Capsicum Kid, it's on our video from Monday. Go to Monday's video, and you'll see a link there where you can download all the multi-tracks.
Brush off the never give up. You take what you make and you face it, or you cover it up, you cover it up. We'll never move on if we stay and curse at the mirror, curse at the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to begin. Yeah, we'll never move on if we stay and curse at the mirror, curse at the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to get up and start moving. When it gets hard, you don't screaming, when will this end? Will you take all the pain and cover it up? Don't cover it up. We'll never move on if we stay and curse at the mirror, curse at the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to begin. Yeah, we'll never move on if we stay and curse at the mirror, curse at the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to get up and start moving. All that we are, every sin, every bruise, will never add up to what makes us lose. If you take what you make and you face it, you take all the pain and you face it. You don't cover up, you don't say enough. We'll never move on if we stay and curse at the mirror, curse at the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to begin. Yeah, we'll never move on if we stay and curse at the mirror, curse at the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to get up and start moving.
Awesome. Really. Okay, so there's things to do. There's obvious things to do, but you can tell I'm doing a less is more. We're doing a lot more listening, trying to get an overall thing. I mean, if you really think about it, that's not a huge amount of plugins for a mix. I mean, there's whole sections where nothing is being affected whatsoever, and we're using a ton of stock plugins. There's lots of things that either have no effect or have EQs that come on and off. So, it's definitely a sort of a less is more approach. And I think it's really, really super important to think that way. Okay, I mean, the acoustics are destroyed in the choruses. They're very compressed. I recorded them. It's my fault, but have a listen. It's fine. I mean, this adds some energy. I think the most important thing now for us to work on is what we're going to do with the vocal in different sections. Okay, so this is our last one. This is our last giveaway. First of all, please hit the like button. We'll be back next week after this for more live streams. I had to think about how to pronounce that. There'll be more live streams. I see we have 286 likes. If we can get that over to 300, that'd be absolutely stupendous. So stick around, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Oh, I love mandolins. I have one over there with a ukulele. So to cut a long story short, what do we need to know? This is for a giveaway for a year's membership to the Academy, an extension of a year for anybody that's already a member, and, of course, free courses. No, this song is not released yet. We're mixing it. We've mixed a lot of these. What I'd love to know is, well, first of all, you know what? This is a dumb one. This is for everybody. Everybody on here can answer this. For all 300 people that are on here, please hit the like. All 300 of you can enter this. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't and give me just the one answer. Where are you? And I don't mean in the studio. What town are you in? What country you're in? You know, where are you? Love to know. I love our community. It's absolutely fantastic. And where are you based? Let us know. Would love to know where you're based. Please, 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 please. Let us know. Where are you based? Wait. Well, thanks, Shmuel Rosenblatt. Yeah, there's some good recordings, but even then, we definitely talk about that. So anyway, France, Minneapolis, Denmark, Barcelona, Georgia, Michigan, Lima, Peru, Zurich, Denver. I'm trying to keep up. This is amazing. Norway, Detroit. Chris says he's from 150, or Frederick from 150 countries. Slovenia, Croatia, Botswana, beautiful. In the valleys, terrible Welsh accent. I'm really sorry that I did that. I embarrassed myself. The English guy living in Orlando, Florida. Well, I'm an English guy living in Los Angeles. South Shields, the Buckeye State, Tennessee, Worcester. Or as Americans say, Worcester. Yeah, Worcester. York, Chile, Bury, near Manchester. Oh, if you're a Manchester supporter, congratulations on yesterday's game. I thought that was pretty darn amazing. Great work. Finland. Yep. Lots of people from Finland, or 2 people at least from Finland. That's wonderful. Asbury Park. You're from Mostly Harmless. That's good. We certainly like our Douglas Adams fans here. Brazilian, living in Tampa, Florida. Maryland, Germany, Litchfield, Sweden, Israel, beautiful. San Antonio in Texas. Where are you all from? Don't forget to hit that like button. That would be absolutely stupendous. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Holland. You're from Holland, or you're actually from the area of Holland, or are you from the Netherlands? Obviously, Holland is part of the Netherlands. Different Manchester, though. Oh, Connecticut, Hong Kong, Bristol. Mike is an Englishman living in England. There you go. Rio de Janeiro, Finland. All right, Matt, off you go. Let's choose somebody. All right, we're going to give it another listen down and see if we can find some things that we want to do. I think the first thing we want to do is brighten the vocal a little bit more. So I'm just going to give it a little zip.
There's no escape, no hiding a break.
And we'll pull down the de-esser as well, just to control that.
There's no escape, no hiding a break.
You know what's really good on the high end and people love is the Marg. So let's go to the Marg EQ. I'm sure we had it. There's no escape. Don't we have the Marg EQ? I thought we did. Young Eric von Derrickson. Felt pretty certain that I saw it earlier on. Is it under other? Nope. Oh, the one knob brighter. Never actually used one of those. Sound field. Swear blind we had a Marg. Absolutely positive we did. There it is. Okay, so here's the Marg. Is it going to open? Yay! Okay, so we're going to add some air. There's the air band on here.
There's no escape, no hiding a break.
It's beautiful.
There's no escape, no hiding a break. no easy fix, no magic erase. You take what you make and you face it, or you cover it up and you fake it. There's no other way. Let's get up and brush off the dust. We're dirty for life, but we choose to give up. You take what you make and you face it, or you cover it up, you cover it up. We'll never move on if we stay and curse at the mirror, curse at the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to begin. Yeah, we'll never move on if we stay and curse at the mirror, curse at the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to get up and start moving. Gets hard, you don't have to pretend. You can empty your lungs, screaming, when will this end? But you take all the pain and you face it. Don't cover it up, don't cover it up. We'll never move on if we stay and curse at the mirror, curse at the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to begin. Yeah, we'll never move on if we stay and curse at the mirror, curse at the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to get up and start moving. Every bruise will never add up to what makes us lose. If you take what you make and you face it, you take all the pain and you face it. You don't cover up, you don't say enough. We'll never move on if we stay and curse at the mirror, curse at the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to begin. Yeah, we'll never move on if we stay and curse at the mirror, curse at the wind. I hear you say that you're ready to heal. It's time to begin, it's time to get up and start moving.
Fantastic. It's 12 o'clock. Our artist just arrived. So we are going to sign off. Thank you ever so much for everybody that watched. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hit the like button on your way out. That's really good. And if you come back in a few minutes, YouTube will have put this up permanently, and you can, of course, comment. That would be absolutely lovely. So please feel free to comment. And thank you ever so much. I think the one thing I learned from just listening down there, by the way, was we just need to pull out some mids out of the vocal, specifically in the choruses where it starts to get a little dense. I think we can pull out a little bit of the guitars as well. But yeah, the multi-tracks will come up and be available inside of the Academy. But there's tons of other, if you're not Academy members, there's tons of other multi-tracks you can get. But we will have these up for Academy members. There's a lot going up this month. For those of you in the Academy, a ton of stuff has gone up. If you're not already an Academy member, go and check it out. Join. I would say half the people here are Academy members. It's an amazing community. It's absolutely amazing. So thank you, everybody. Please hit the like button on your way out. Please come back and watch again and leave comments. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You all absolutely rock. Have a marvelous time recording and mixing. See you all again soon. Bye.